Jocko.
Next question.
Next question, Jocko.
Let's do it.
I'm an INTJ personality. My drive/ideas often cause friction with superiors. How can I use my strengths without creating division?
Okay, so for this one, I kind of had to look up this stuff to remember exactly what it was, and the INJT or INTJ stuff is introverted, intuitive thinking, judging. This is part of this Meyers Briggs type indicator that refers to one of 16 psychological types, right? So it's sort of a graph that you can figure out what type of 16 different psychological types that there are. And so for this one in particular, this INJT, which like I said is introverted, intuitive, thinking, and judging. And I went to the interwebs for this.
Sure.
And it said that as an INTJ, your primary mode of living is focused internally, where you take things in primarily via your intuition. Your secondary mode is external, where you deal with things rationally and logically. So, speaking of self-fulfilling prophecies, this is kind of one of them. And, as far as I'm concerned, your personality and anyone's personality is not set in stone by any stretch. And, of course, can you have some natural tendencies as a person? Of course, you do have some natural tendencies. And if your brain was on autopilot, you would steer towards those personality traits even more. But luckily, our brain is not on autopilot, and you have your hands on the wheel, and you can control your mind, and you can, in this case, step back and get a grip on things that, according to the question, that cause friction, right? If as an INGAT, you are supposedly too demanding, and these are little quotes that they had. If you're too demanding or not open to other people or not open to other ideas, here's what you do. Real simple. Get less demanding. Right? If you have a hard time listening to other people, listen to other people. If you, and this was another quote I got from the INJT personality matrix, if you are supposed to have a low tolerance of emotion in others, then get more tolerance for emotions in others. This isn't hard. You identified what the issues are. You've heard me say this all the time. Listen to other people, treat them with respect. These things are not doing that, so do them. Mm-hmm. That's really simple. There's no reason for you to fulfill this prophecy of being a person that's not open to others' ideas, a person that has low tolerance for other people. There's no reason for you to be overly demanding. You don't have to be this way. Just because that's your personality type, allegedly, that doesn't mean you have to be that way. Hey, this is kind of like the horoscope signs. Right? Sure. And do people even talk about those anymore?
I don't know. My dad. Well, what is it? Horoscope or astrology?
Astrology, right? All that stuff.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. Well, you read your horoscope, but it's
based on astrology.
Based on the magic of astrology.
Yeah. People still do that.
So sure. It hasn't happened to me in a while, but when I was younger, people would say, oh, what sign are you? And I'd say, I'm a Scorpio. And they'd say, oh, I knew it. I could tell you were a Scorpio. You guys, I totally pegged you as a Scorpio. I saw that. And I go, actually, I'm not a Scorpio. And I'd say, actually, I'm a Libra. And they'd go, no, for sure, you're a Libra all the way, definitely, because you have this and you're that. And I'd go, actually, I'm kidding. I'm actually Virgo. And then they wouldn't trust me anymore and think I was a bastard and whatever. But my point is, according to some random zodiac calendar, you can place those overlays on anybody, and you can kind of make them fit. And that's what I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying that the ENTP or ESJ or LMNOP or whatever. I'm not saying that the Meyers-Briggs thing is just wrong. I think it's good to have a framework. I think it's fine to have a framework and say, oh yeah, I recognize this trait in myself, or yeah, I recognize that trait in myself, or I recognize that trait in someone else, and then you can deal with it. I think that's good. But what I don't accept is saying this is what I am, and therefore I'm not going to change. No, wrong answer. Yeah. If we all just accepted who we are, you're not going to make any progress, So you find some weaknesses in your personality and you fix them. That's what I'm saying. Adapt yourself, evolve, get better, stop creating friction, stop creating division, be humble, listen, take input, all those things. And I'll tell you one last thing is, if you really are the INTJ, then that means that you're smart. It means you're thinking. It means you're pragmatic. It means you're an analytical person. You're supposed to be all those things. So if you are, then realize that in order to be a successful member of the team, you need to put all those little characteristics into check pragmatically and make it happen.
Funny, I was reading about that very recently.
About INJT and all that? The Briggs, Meyers,
introvert,
Meyers,
the whole thing, introvert, extrovert. And yeah, so there's that framework, but as it turns out, it's like a bell curve. Mm-hmm. Where most people are somewhere in the middle, and you kind of bounce in the middle there. Mm-hmm. So there's extreme introverts for sure, extreme extroverts, but usually it's you're in the middle. Cool. There's a framework. Cool. Another thing with that is just like I said, the self-fulfilling thing. Mm-hmm. So I like this, and I always like say this just to my friends, whatever. The different, like, feeling a certain way. I don't think you should have too much guilt in feeling a certain way. Like, sometimes they'll be like, dang, I felt like, I don't know, I felt prejudiced or something like that. And it's because those feelings come from a bunch of things that a lot of time you can't control. But behavior is different. So you can feel one thing and behave. If your behavior is just based straight up on your feelings, then that's kind of whack. You got to be smarter where, okay, you have these natural feelings. Cool. So you're an whatever. And you might tend to have certain types of feelings or lack of tolerance for this, or you're not tolerant for, this or that. So when you're like, hey, I'm this, therefore it gives me a pass to behave this way. It's like, dang, bro, you can't do that, man.
No.
And if you're intuitive, bro, shouldn't you kind of know that? I guess. I would think. I would hope so. But yeah, so again, there's a difference between like feelings and behavior. And usually I would be, how you say, like, yeah, if you want to be tougher, be tougher. You know? A lot of times I'd be like, well, there's more to it than that, and there is really. But bro, in this case, in a way, bro, you can really look at it literally like that. If you have a lack of tolerance for emotional, bro, just tolerate it. Mm-hmm. Bro, I think people do self-diagnose and give themselves a pass. And I know we do I think we do it naturally too, because I know this, I'll put it real ambiguously because I don't call anyone out, but I know this family where the little girls growing up, they're like, they kept telling her, hey, you're acting this way because you have, I don't know, I forget what, I think Asperger's or something. Yeah. He goes, oh, that's just your thing. And they didn't like cultivate anything. They were just like real dismissive about it. That's it. And then now every time she acted up, she wouldn't like try to curb her behavior. Mm-hmm. She'll act up and be like, that's just my whatever, my Asperger's or whatever. That she embraced it, still behaved, in whatever way she felt like behaving, and then just kind of put it on the Asperger's.
Yeah, you can. It's mind control.
Yeah, man.
It's mind control. Obviously, you get some people that have some significant, mental problem. Okay, I understand. But like this person that's writing a logical question, they got mind control. They just need to say, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to be more open to other people's emotions. I'm going to listen to other people's ideas. Ready, go. Do it now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm rejecting Echo's idea at point blank range. Okay, that's a signal. Yeah. I need to not do that. Yeah, Echo, I am open to your idea. Let me hear it. Right? Yeah. It's that easy.
Yeah, that's just my INTJ acting up. I gotta check that.
Gotta check that.
Yeah, the feelings versus behavior thing, I think is, well, it's one of those things where when you know the problem, that's like, because this person's obviously ahead of the game because they know,
sure,
they know this
sure.
is what's causing. Okay, I can, I can identify when I feel that stuff coming on.
Very important.
Like it's an ailment, it's not an ailment. It's good. It's dope.